จิ้มลึกเลยนะ
Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our third matchup of the night here in Pro League. It's pretty tied at the top.
Yeah.
So the standings might be changed after this next matchup. NIP versus Immortals, definitely, for me, the highlight of the evening.
Well, it's definitely a case similar to Black Dragons where NIP really need this win. I mean, they managed to pick up a little bit before, but it's not a lot in terms of their standings, and this is a team that we expect more out of, that have done very well in some other events. It's just this season of Pro League really been struggling, so they're going to have to play very, very hard against Immortals, because as you said, Immortals could just really get up there off of the win on this, so at the very least a tie would help, but
the NIP 100% need the win.
Yeah.
They're at 7th place. It's not a good position to be in, and really, a lot of people are trying to blame it on the format. Honestly, you look at their plays, even in the past week, their plays have been absolutely mind-boggling. You're playing church, you have 4 people roaming upstairs, and one person is just actually anchoring on the site. The blitz runs in and just keeps firing at him, and he's dead. Why? Some of these mistakes really do boggle my mind, because NIP as a team has always performed so
they're
well.
fantastic. Yeah, it's been a bit disappointing. I mean, I feel like it's what we saw from some of the early EG games in North America, where it's just like evil geniuses are just doing weird things that we don't expect of them. We know they're such a strong team, but they managed to swing back. They managed to find their stride, and they're doing quite well now. Whereas Ninjas in Pajamas, let's take a look at the roster, not doing as good as we'd like.
You need to get out of PJs, put on some work clothes, or else you're just going to keep in the sleepy mood the entire day.
Definitely not looking great for them, but today could be the continuation of their comeback. Julio Kamikaze, PZD, Psycho, and WAG all good players we know are very good at this game. And, of course, the map going to be a factor as well in terms of whether or not it's one that favors them. But, I don't know, we'll see. It's definitely been a bit of a struggle for them in terms of, like you said, NIP doing things that just don't make sense. I mean, Latin America as a region does things differently, but at the same time, it's been a bit odd.
Different, but always has a logic behind it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's some things that have been happening over the past couple weeks from NIP that is just... I find myself unable to wrap my head around it, which is why every single play day I go back and rewatch and re-evaluate their VOD and just get flabbergasted by it. But though their opponents, Immortals, will take a look at their lineup with Diogo, Novi, Cyber, One, and Yuk. Again, an excellent lineup. If there's anything that Latin America has no shortage of, is excellent players and personal skill.
These guys have just been getting better, I think, since last season. It's the case similar to Team 1, where they're a little weak last season, started to pick it up towards the end, and then this season especially, I think they've been doing fairly well. I mean, you can see it a bit in their stats, but at the same time, like, I think you can see it even better on the standings itself. I think they're a team with some strength and experience. It was just maybe it took some time to find their cohesion as a team, but whatever it is, it's working out better this season. If they can secure a win today, that favors them even more, and they are going to be going to Paris as well, so should be interesting for them to see what they're going to have to show there. Obviously the case where, being the position they are in, they're not in a great position to save strats, as we like to say. They're going to have to play this for the 3 points, very much so, and make sure that they can secure one of those top spots, because top 4 is always a hot contest in these league formats.
Especially when you're at the last play day of the half season. It gives you a big launching pad to the next half, because you can just play around with those extra points. Maybe you can, if not secure yourself the first position, then the second one would always be something. It gives you a lower seed going to LAN, but again, the only 2 teams from every region that will go to LAN are the top 2, whether it's APAC, Latin America, EU, or North America.
So they really need those points, because you can see how hotly contested the top 2 are right now, especially after that win we just saw from FaZe. That really makes the top 2 very difficult to break into, so Immortals are going to have to try their best to do that. But I imagine all the same, they're definitely going to want to play very hard for Paris, although I think, given the competition in Paris, going to be a bit of an uphill battle for them.
Alright, we'll take a look at our map picks and bans, put them up on the screen, as we'll start off with our 2 maps to remove, Clubhouse and Coastline. NIP played Clubhouse last week. Coastline was played by Immortals, so it narrows it down to 5, no Villa, no Bank. NIP really don't want to test the waters in our newest Pro League map just yet, at least. Of course.
Nope, no Consulate either. That leaves Oregon and Border, the 2 current classics. And there Oregon it will be.
And this is a great map for NIP.
Yeah. This is one where, we were talking earlier about Sexy playing on that shield downstairs. This is one where Julio kind of originally pioneered that strategy.
If you don't ban Blitz against NIP, you're...
Yeah. Interesting, though, that the win rates, in this case, do favor Immortals. They have won it. And you see, the worst part for NIP is they played it twice and lost it both times.
Yeah, this is the 3rd time they get to play it, so they play it 3 out of the 7 possible times. It's already a 40-ish%.
3rd time's the charm, right?
Yeah.
They'll get it this time. At least it's not like a wacky map they're just trying to push continuously. It's a classic that they should know very well. They should be very good at. They've just been struggling in the current... I say current meta, but when you have operator bans, you don't necessarily have as much of a meta. Although in this case, as you can see from the ban rates at the beginning,
we even have a meta game.
There's a little bit.
Operator bans. So we always settle into that. It is only human nature to go back to something that is something you're comfortable with, and it's to be expected. Yeah.
We'll see how Oregon goes, though. In this case, it does favor Immortals, not just off of the standings, but also of their record on it. But let's see what you guys thought in terms of this. I know Ninjas in Pajamas probably going to get a lot here anyways. Not sure I would agree with that.
I would have put it a bit closer Immortals' side. But
nonetheless, Ninjas in Pajamas are in a little bit of a comeback attempt. But attempt being the key word.
Good point.
I mean, they're not in last place like Black.
Fair enough.
So
fair enough.
They were down there before. They've come up a little bit, but Immortals, I mean, have at least shown some stuff because they showed that they won once. But to be fair, Ninjas in Pajamas have shown how to lose it twice at least. So there's that. There's plenty of odds to review for that.
At least they now know how to not play it.
That's right. 2 whole matches to not play again. We'll see, though. Obviously, the bomb sites will factor in and things like that in terms of the strategy. But with the 3 bomb site thing now, this is definitely a case where I really hope they have a good 3rd bomb site.
Yeah. Like, Tower hasn't worked for everybody. The only team that really has made it happen, I want to say, is Vitality, I guess.
And this is a case where Ninjas in Pajamas are starting on defense, too. So they've got to have that in mind. Now, of course, that's assuming they even win 2 of the bomb sites. If they're really struggling again, then maybe if their bomb sites the least of their problems. But either way, you really got to have a good, especially after you've lost this map twice. That is so important that you have a 3rd one. Not just in case you're forced to a 3rd one, but so you can switch to a 3rd one early and throw them off. We've seen that do that from some teams. Vitality is notorious for that because they'll switch bomb sites even if they win or lose it.
Every bomb site is viable if you're Vitality.
And that's the mentality that Ninjas in Pajamas need to have going into this to really throw off Immortals, because they've played it once and won it once. So they have the strategies for at least the 2 dominant bomb sites down very well. So either way, a lot of speculation and hope here for Ninjas in Pajamas, because hope is fading quickly as this is the last play day for first half, as we've mentioned probably a zillion times already.
Yeah, and we really need to drive this home because I've seen today on its own, I've had like 4 posts on Reddit that are like, when does the Paris Major start? August 13th. That's the group stage. So make sure you tune in because Pro League will be off until September 11th.
Yeah.
Today is the last day of Pro League in this half until we come back in September.
So if you tune in tomorrow, you just get to watch VODs. Just click on the videos down.
Good point. You know, there's other shows that we're doing, but specifically, today is the last day, and in 2 weeks' time, we'll be in Paris. So August 13, 14, 15 is the 3 group stage days. 16th is a day off, and then 17, 18, and 19 are the 3 days where public is allowed in, and we're going to have a full house in Paris. It's the Exposition Park at Porte de Versailles in a very nice part of Paris, actually. It's not too bad. I've been there a few times. There's some nice parks to go to.
One can hope, especially when it's Ubisoft headquarters, right? It's a big deal.
Ubisoft headquarters are on the other side of the city, actually.
Well, I didn't imagine they were in the arena.
50-minute drive, I think.
Yeah.
I think the players are not staying too far away from them. I don't know.
Well, either way, it should be fun. Should be exciting. And so, of course, you know, when you're watching this, keep in mind that Immortals are going, so pay attention to how they play.
And NIP as well.
Yeah, so both of these guys, hopefully not revealing too much, but then again, they can't get each other in the early regions. We already drew all the teams last week, so you can see what the groupings are online. Hopefully we have them somewhere up on the ESL site. I'm not entirely sure if those are up, but they're definitely not too hard to find in terms of what we drew in terms of the groupings last time.
I believe there's an official blog post on Rainbow Six. There's Reddit, CGG, there's Liquipedia as well. Everything is posted everywhere. R6 Pro League on Twitter, ESL, Rainbow Six on Twitter, Rainbow Six Game on Twitter. Everybody has literally posted this everywhere. You cannot miss it. And the group, especially that Group D, is looking pretty hot. Rogue is in there. FaZe Clan is in there as well. It's gonna be. It's actually really cool that Group D has Rogue, FaZe Clan, IDK, and Orglis, because that is, for a lot of people, the current group of death.
It'll be interesting, though, given Orglis' recent changes, so you never know, that could shift things a little bit, or somehow it could be even better.
All right, well, we'll see as we get ready to head into our matchup. NAP versus Immortals on Oregon, the map that everybody goes to, all the big teams go to die.
See what the bans come out like here. Those, we know these impacted quite a bit. Maybe we'll get a Blitz ban because we were talking about with Julio earlier, and it is a high ban here for Brazil. We'll see, though. Ninjas in Pajamas first to ban. Probably not going to be the ones to ban that Blitz.
Nope. And just watch them do it.
Maybe Glass. Yeah, that would be. I mean, we didn't help Evil Geniuses when they banned their own operators, but nope.
What?
That's
Whoa!
I think that was at 0% ban rate before. Now
that
it's no longer the case.
Literally the first time.
Padding the stats.
All right, will be interesting for our stats team. Our second attacker ban, will it be Lion? Yes, there you go. I'm expecting Lion.
Blitz still on the table then.
Yep.
I think we know what one of these two is going to be.
It makes a lot of sense. If Nip banned Lion, then it made it much easier for Immortals to just go for the shield ban. But there you go, Defender. Smoke!
What?
Oh, think of time! Let's go!
What is happening here? Smoke ban on Oregon. This should be, for these
Echo
teams
or Maestro
especially,
or Mira?
this is, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Should be interesting of a match. I mean, we'll see, though. Like, we don't know how these guys are going to play it out, but they've got to have a strategy in mind. Immortals, the favorite team here, at least in terms of current stats. Definitely have some little trick up their sleeve if they're banning that. Could
You
mean
ban the
faster
smoke.
plays.
You ban the smoke. Shield play becomes so much stronger.
Yeah.
And Maestro, which means Mira's available. Oh my god. Is this going to be like Blitz, Finca, Ying, Capitao?
That would be a round, that's for sure. Throw in a Dokkaebi to
And a
Lions Band
Dokkaebi?
too.
Oh my... Oh
Just
no.
to make them sit on site crying.
Oh no.
Are you going to be okay?
Jackal tracked... Well, not Lion in this case, but flashed and yinged and smoked out. And
I mean, that's not the strategy
Blitz.
they're going for right now, but that's definitely a possibility.
IQ being played, though, by Cyber. I'm actually surprised.
There's the Blitz. Oh, the Capcan. Are you going to... No, you got to be 6-picking that. Usually you do not obviously pick that. You're going to 6-pick something like that. So I imagine Psycho going to switch off. Yeah, probably Jaeger, I would think. You want to stop those nades for sure.
Unless he sticks it, and it's a mind game.
Yeah, that's too strong of a
Oh,
nade.
Valkyrie,
Jaeger,
so
though.
no Jaeger.
The Blitz, though, also a fake.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out this round. But no smoke is definitely going to put a lot more work on the Echo as well as the C4 operators. They are bringing 3 C4 operators, though, potentially.
Personally, I would have exchanged that IQ for a Capitao.
Protect your bombs from
It's just such a good pick to have, especially when you're expecting laundry. Hell, even if you're pushing into kid storms.
It depends on your attack strat, though, where you're planning to attack from. Like, let's say you are trying to push from the B side, for example, from tower. Knowing if there's any kind of utility there that's going to stop you can really be useful. Not to mention, it is going to be good. Okay, so think about this, right? No smoke, so everything's on the Echo drone, right? What can spot the Echo drone?
Ah.
So there are some strategies here. I mean, it's a case where, again, it's going to depend a lot on C4s. Unfortunately, they don't have anything the attackers can really do against C4 per se. A Montaigne, I suppose, but that is not a ton you can do. They are going to be playing a bit of meeting hall defense here, and that's where the mute jammers are definitely going to help with that, along with the window. They've got the rotate set up as well. So this should be pretty good defense for the most part, but it is going to get pushed fairly quickly. Cyber taking control of Garage very fast. Obviously having spotted on his drone that no one is going to be playing in there, so he's just trying to secure that as early as possible.
Yeah, make sure that he wastes no time on it, and then falls back off of it. Novi's just looking into the school, and no one will get spotted just yet. Pisa D and Kamikaze are playing in the meeting hall, so they're going to be playing in the back with C4s.
Well, again, that's a C4 that's not available on the site itself, though, so Kamikaze needs to make sure he stays alive long enough to rotate, if need be, because without the smoke, C4s are that much more important. You get 3 smokes on smoke, or you get 3 C4s across 3 operators that need to stay alive, so definitely interesting play banning that smoke, though, for sure.
Wag even opening a rotation hole late into the round here with the Supernova.
I like these melee holes as well for him to be able to play through that table, something we see fairly often. Melee holes definitely being very important these days.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few of them actually, and they've done quite a bit of work.
Unfortunately, in that case, mostly against Kamikaze.
A lot of damage being done from the top, but Novi's will get taken down.
Ooh.
PZD will stick the meeting hall for just a second as Kamikaze will fall back.
Important part there, Kamikaze falling back. Maybe he resets, maybe he doesn't, but the C4 staying alive there, as I mentioned earlier, is more important than PZD staying alive up here. Does have Psycho as well, though. Psycho, another C4 on the board that needs to consider rotating, but at least he's trying to cover his teammate. They're trying to hold meeting hall for a really long time if they can help it. He did get the reset as well. Looks like Kamikaze back to 50 HP.
Psycho is coming in to help out as well from the backstage, as Julia will open things up a bit more for potential C4 throw or rotate down into the site, and they will put Kamikaze back on that 50% health. Diogo firing into the back of the mirror window. We'll get anything on PZD, so playing in the meeting hall is not falling back. Look at the amount of time that's been wasted. NIP playing this so calm and collected. But Julio's out of position in the closet and can't really go back in there. His flashes and such are being thrown his way. Information is going to get relayed in by the Yokai. As no, it gets taken down. A greedy repositioning there from the Echo of Wog.
There's one
C4.
C4.
That's That's Julio to get one. He gets the second one as well on to the Yogo. And PZD comes in from the back. Yoke trying to hip fire his way with the SMG-11, and unfortunately, that does not really work. What is the what?
All right, well, that was too little too late. That worked finally. That was the weirdest fight. How did he not die in all those times he saw him directly? It's through a softwall.
And then he fires a headshot through the softball. What?
An oddball fight, to say the least.
Oh, boy.
But nonetheless, a very effective defense by Ninjas in Pajamas, who knew how to play it as effectively as possible. Kamikaze probably should have gotten killed earlier, but he did manage to get out, reset just fine. They held the meeting hall for a long time. The repositioning of the Echo drone, though, as you said, a little bit greedy. He had an interesting position, but too much of a lip from that meeting hall door. It was